Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. On this week's episode, I'm going to start off by cleaning some gunk off of the camera. Yep. Sorry. It was just going to bother me the whole time. I'm going to talk to you guys about, Bitcoin hitting all-time highs. That's pretty interesting. And then an exciting streaming platform. Let's see if you can guess what it is. A streaming platform has announced that you can pay in Bitcoin. That is right. Big surprise. So you can pay for your streaming service in Bitcoin. And then also just a little friendly entrepreneurial advice that I thought of this week. So, anyways, before we get into that, get yourself a Bitbox O2 hardware wallet. Go to bitbox.swiss/Bitcoin made simple. Use promo code Bitcoin made simple to get 5% off of your order. And if you do a local Bitcoin meetup, wherever your Bitcoin meetups happen, send me a DM or whatever, and let's set something up. If you do a Bitcoin meetup in your area, I am going to be doing a Bitcoin meetup tour with, sponsored by Bitbox. I think so far I don't have anything definite yet, but I definitely want to try for the Denver Bitcoin meetup. I'm going to round out, probably do like 5 or 6 of them. So, if your Bitcoin meetup is something that I should come to and could talk to the people who organize it, do an episode there, and then hang out for the meetup, that would be cool. Just send me a DM on the Twitter. But first things first, streaming platform is accepting Bitcoin. I did that face just to see. I thought it was funny. Somebody pointed out that basically on the YouTube algorithm, if you go and make a big eyes and open your mouth, it is what makes every video go. So I just did that because I don't even try to select thumbnails, which probably means I should be better at it, but whatever. And because I don't care. You guys listen or you don't. Fortunately, a lot of you do listen. Not a lot on YouTube. I don't understand that. I don't know. Maybe I should try harder at that. Who knows? I'm just happy. Like I've told you guys before, I'm just happy with our little club, our little group here. It's like we meet once a week to talk about Bitcoin and other stuff, and that's it. So if more people want to join the club, they'll find us. But anyways, we'll see. I wanted to do that because I thought it'd be funny if the YouTube just automatically selects that and goes, hey, there's the surprise face we always use. Put that in. Anyways, first streaming platform to accept Bitcoin as a form of payment is Movies Plus. Ah, yes. How would you have guessed? Movies Plus. Go to mymoviesplus.com. And on the main page, you will see across the top, it says Pay in Bitcoin. Click Pay in Bitcoin, and it will take you to the area, the checkout, where you can use I think you use multiple different apps or wallets to pay, but you got to connect your wallet. And if you're doing anything like in the Bitcoin ecosystem, you probably can do it. But yeah, it's with this company called Flash, which is actually part owned by Pierre Corbin, who's been on the show and is Bitcoin filmmaker. You guys know him, but he's also a coder. So this was a long time coming because if you don't know by now, then you're pretty new to this channel. But I am the CEO of Movies Plus, and almost 4 years ago, somebody was like, I think it was Daniel Prince about 4 years ago, was like, you need to, why can't you accept Bitcoin as payment yet? And I was still pretty new to the Bitcoin world. and as far as like the ecosystem, you know what I mean? Like I was like gone down the rabbit hole of understanding the depths of hard money and Bitcoin only. Everything else was a shitcoin. I knew all that, but I still was like on the early end of the ecosystem side. And then once I started to really think about it, maybe 6 months to a year later, and if anybody was a veteran of Bitcoin Twitter spaces back in the summer of 2021, I said this multiple times. In Shinobi, of all people, actually, he said, "Don't worry, you're providing a value. You know, you're giving value." But I had this like moral conundrum. I was like, I can't think of a thing that's more valuable than Bitcoin in terms of finances and everything like that. So I was like, I can't think of a product that is worth me asking someone to give me their Bitcoin for it. I just didn't see that as something that I could do. Nothing would be as valuable as Bitcoin. So it's like, well, you know, what would my recommendation be to anybody? It would be to hold on to your Bitcoin. Don't let go of your Bitcoin. Keep your Bitcoin forever. So, you know, but Shinobi was like, you know, you're providing a value. It's, you know, it's different and blah, blah, blah. And so at least I thought, but then I had to get the technical side down. And I'm not a programmer at all. So that part was a little difficult. Took me a minute. And, you know, I was getting close with a couple things, tried BTC Pay Server, this and that. And I couldn't do it. I'm not good at it. And finally, Pierre, maybe a handful of months ago, goes, "Hey, I got this thing called Flash that I'm building, and would you be open to doing it for Movies Plus?" And I was like, bingo, let's do it. So we did. And thank you to Pierre for putting it together. So it's nice. You know, you set in your you have your wallet linked to the account, and you can use that. And I thought, honestly, the biggest reason to do it now is it supports the ecosystem. I think that it's important to support the ecosystem in any little way that I can. So, you know, there might come a time. Is it going to be a thing that really boosts our bottom line? Probably not. Also, I'm not selling the Bitcoin that we make that way. But I don't think that I just think it's important to develop these tools. You know, at the very minimum, Pierre needed a place to be able to work his idea out and see if it could work. I mean, he even said at the point, like, it was just a point of sale device, basically. Not like device, basically, but he didn't say that. But it was just like a one-time purchase thing. And I was like, well, can we make it like, so if somebody has like a monthly and they want to recur monthly or annual, can you set that up? So he actually has like a whole new element to his system just because I requested it, not because I'm a genius. Just I was like, could you do that? So that's pretty cool, in my opinion, that, you know, the collaboration and working together to make this stuff happen is, I think, what's important and important pushing Bitcoin forward. So I want to talk about Bitcoin price a little bit, but I also want to mention something else. But before I mention that other thing, get a BitBox02 hardware wallet. And again, a reminder, if you go to a Bitcoin meetup, send me a message and let's see if I can come to your Bitcoin meetup on the Bitcoin meetup tour. But don't get yourself overextended. And I thought about that this week because my brother-in-law and I were looking at a couple things, and there was this like cool business that was for sale, and, you know, looks like a really cool thing. And then here's the point. It would be really cool if the cash flow supported it to be like something that you managed from a distance or whatever. But the more I dug into it, I was like, yeah, there's lots of things. I mean, the asking price was way too high. So unless the guy comes back and says, never mind, I'll give it to you for the price that works for you. But at the same time, like, it all seemed like a good idea. But then my assistant, Katrina, she's like, I'd just be a little cautious. And I'm like, why? And she's like, think about how overextended you are right now. For example, my Bitcoin podcast that I have to do once a week is usually done in the 4 p.m. Eastern hour on a Friday because I'm always running behind. I'm overextended. I've got way too much to do. And so she's like, are you really in a position to overextend yourself more? And, you know, I guess the entrepreneurial side, you're like, yeah, let's go. Let's increase cash flows. Not even from like a greedy standpoint, just like, let's another business that works. Let's do it, you know? And she was like, how much of this time is it going to take? And she kind of like brought me back down to reality. I was like, okay, that was round one. And then she knew, because I tell her all the time that, like, I was like, well, I know when I go to my wife, she's going to have, like, so I go to my wife after that conversation where, you know, Katrina gave me all the reasons why I shouldn't do it because she sees my work on a daily basis and how it is crazy. So then go to my wife and I'm talking to her about it. And I always joke and say my wife shows up, like, I'll be like, hey, you know, what do you think of this idea? And she'll just sit there with like an Uzi and just shoot holes through it, like just shoot holes through my ideas. Like, this is why it's dumb and this is stupid and everything, which helps because whenever I actually have a good idea, I know it because I tell her and she goes, yeah, I don't see why you shouldn't do that. I'm like, whoa, like, that's amazing. So point being, I don't think I'm going to do that unless the guy comes back at like a really good price. But I mean, it's, you know, no sweat off my brow. So it's no big deal. Would have been cool. But, if it did come back at the price that works, then it wouldn't be a burden on me. But you know, from my time perspective, my point in bringing this up is do not get yourself overextended. Because I've seen from other people how they get overextended. They get worn out and crap out. And also if you're overextended, you start missing details on things that are important in other elements of your work life. So, and then Bitcoin price, good Lord. This is the second time I've done this, looking for my phone, which is actually recording right now, looking for my phone to check the price. Last I saw was at like 68, but it was up to like $73,000 a Bitcoin. Adam Back said he might hit 100K before the halving. I could see that. I'm always pessimistic, like, you know, I don't want to jinx things. Not that that's really a thing. But I think we'd have to separate a little bit further away from the into the 70s. Like, if we hit 80, then I think we go to 100. You know, full SNED. I say full SNED because it's the mispronounced way of saying full send. I think somebody did that on a Bitcoin forum once, and then I send it to people all the time. But yeah, we can talk about price, all that good stuff, but don't forget to do not buy with short-term expectations. Don't do it. The temptation is there. I still have the temptation. Don't do it. Resist the temptation. So with all that being said, get yourself a BitBox O2 hardware wallet, and I will talk to you guys later.